Hey, gamer friends, I'm Danielle.
And I'm Josiah, and we are ready to roll. We're going to be talking about culling games from our collection and everything that involves.
Right, because we're at a place right now in our collection where it's time for us to cull games. And so we thought we would bring you along on our discussion of it and what exactly that means and why we're doing it and all of that good stuff.
So what is the criteria that we use when we're culling a game from our collection?
We were talking about it. We tried to figure out what reason we would have about getting rid of a game. And so the thing that you first said is, I'm not going to miss that game.
Yeah, that's true.
When we were going through our collection, you were like, I won't miss that one at all.
If I never play that game again, I won't miss it.
Right. And so that means that if we both feel that way about a game,
it's time for it to go.
We need to get rid of it.
Yeah.
Or there's several games that we have that just like didn't hit for whatever reason.
Yeah.
They might be great games for some people, but for us, we just didn't like it. And so that's a game that will be on our cull list.
That's right. And then also, if it's always a game that we would choose a different game to play,
yes,
then it's time for it to go. If if it's never going to be chosen because there's another game that we'd rather play, that's time to go.
Yeah, I can think of one particular game, which I think we'll talk about later, but one particular game on our list of games to cull that it's not even that I didn't enjoy the game. It was more that I won't choose it.
Right. That's right.
And so that makes it a game that we need to cull, because if neither one of us, again, choose it, then what's the point of having it just take up space?
Yeah, that's right. And collect dust on our shelf.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about what we do with the games that we cull. This is our thought of what we're going to start doing.
So first, let's talk about what a lot of people do, and that is they sell their games that they cull.
Yes, because there's a good resale market for games.
You
can find, like on Facebook Marketplace, if you're looking for, used board games, there's people selling used board games all the time, or maybe eBay or different venues like that. They might use it. You can find them on BGG, people selling their games.
Yeah, but that's not what we will do.
Right.
For several reasons, which we'll talk about. But what we will do is give our games away.
Right.
We have several people in our life that are what I would call board game hobby adjacent.
Yeah, or just starting out in that board game hobby. Like they're wanting to be hobbyists in the board game area.
And so that's a perfect market for us to give our games that we aren't going to play anymore. We're going to give them to those people.
Yes. So there are people that we can let come over and, hey, we want you to sift through these games and just take whatever you want from it.
That's right. And another thing it does that we talked about is it's not going to some random person that we'll never see again. If for some reason we're like, why did we give that game away? I want to play that game again. We know there are people who are very close to us.
Yes,
and so we could just go borrow the game from them, to do that.
Yeah.
And so that's another reason that we talked about why we would give our games to those people.
Yeah. And one thing that we do that we started a long time ago, a little tradition in our family with games, is when you win a game, you get to write your name in the box.
Right.
And you get to name the game. So it's not just writing your name, your name, your date, and you get to name the game, which is a really fun thing to do. We try and be clever sometimes, or maybe not so clever sometimes, but we get to name the game, and it's just this fun little record.
It's bragging rights.
It's bragging rights. Yeah. And it's just a little fun thing that we started with the kids when we first got into the hobby.
Yep.
So because of that, some of our games have writing in them that other people might not necessarily appreciate.
Yeah.
But if you're being given the game, you probably wouldn't care as much.
That's right. Yeah. And also, we buy a lot of games off of the Dent and Ding section at places. And so it doesn't feel right to us to sell a game that is kind of beat up and, it's got dents and dings and holes and tears and all that kind of stuff. And so, which, most of the time they're in good shape.
Yeah, they're in decent shape.
And we don't care if the box is dented or anything like that, but we wouldn't feel right selling that to other people.
Yes.
So,
and some people really want a nice presentation, and I totally get that. And so, they wouldn't like some of our games.
Yeah.
And so anyway, those are some of the reasons why we don't go the selling route. Plus time and energy you have to put into selling games.
That's
it's just a lot easier for us to let them go to someone who we know will enjoy them.
That's right.
All of the games that we are culling are games that are typically that people tend to enjoy.
Yeah.
You know, we tend to buy games. They're not really obscure games. They're games that are kind of been around or whatever. We want to see reviews
More
on
proven.
it before we have purchased a game.
Yeah.
And so these are games that people generally love and we don't necessarily love.
Right.
And so we know that other people will probably love this game.
Right.
So these aren't games that are like, I don't know, junk games necessarily.
Right.
Just because a game isn't for us doesn't mean it's not a good game.
Yeah.
And other people won't absolutely love it. And so I want the game itself to be enjoyed by other people.
Sure. And you'll see when we give our list of the games that we're culling, we're probably going to get some surprise people. Mm-hmm. Like, I can't believe you didn't enjoy that game, or you're giving that game away, you know. Right. So stay tuned for that list. So one of the things that we talked about is why we don't cull games when we need to.
Right.
And so it really kind of all boils down to time.
Yes.
Right. So taking the time to go through your whole collection, mm-hmm. and then pull out the games that, you know, you're not going to play anymore, or you don't enjoy, or you choose another game, all of those reasons. It takes time.
It does. And also money, because every game is an investment. You're investing money into a game. And it's really hard to purchase a game that you think you're going to love and then you don't.
Right.
Like, you're like, oh, I spent money on that. I invested in that. I want to love this game, and I don't love this game.
Yeah.
And so
it's hard to let go of that.
It is, because you have this hope. And we have had that happen several times where we've played games that we didn't love and then we loved them later. And so getting rid of games, you're just like, oh, I don't want to do that.
Right. But sometimes it's just necessary. It's just something that you need to do.
Yeah, because you're like, okay, we're not going to play this game. Yeah. Like, I just need to come to grips with the fact that I spent money on something that we're not going to do.
Yeah. And it very rarely happens that we spend money on a board game that we end up not liking.
That's true.
Like, it's a very, very small percentage of the games that we buy. But it does happen sometimes.
Because I try and read what the game is about and kind of have an idea, oh, we like these mechanics, oh, we like this kind of thing, and so I think this is going to be a game for us, but you never know. Which brings us to, like, what is our ideal collection size? So we were kind of talking about that, like, in an ideal world, what would that look like? And basically we came away with, we just don't really know. Some people are like, okay, I want 100 games and that's it. And if a game comes in, another game goes out. Some people, it's 200. Some people are like, I'm never getting rid of games. Right. I'm just going to collect all the games. And so for us...
we haven't got to any point like that.
No, we haven't.
Yeah.
I think for us, it more has to do with shelf space.
Yeah.
And right now we still have shelf space.
Right.
And so when we don't have shelf space, that might be a time when we're like, okay, it's time to go through another cull and get rid of some more games. And especially since we're about to get rid of some games, that's going to free up
more space. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't foresee us filling up our shelves right now, but that's what I would say.
But we don't have a specific number of games that we want to stay in, or anything like that. So, and we haven't hit the maximum number of games where we're like, okay, it's too much.
Right.
And we did talk a little bit about how I was feeling maybe a little bit of pressure to maybe slow down on bringing games in, because we haven't been able to play through all the games that we have, and we're kind of building up a little bit of a shelf of shame.
Right.
But you mentioned that there's a lot of games that we bring in that are quick games, and that you can knock out 3 or 4 of those in a session.
Right.
And so it's easy to kind of get caught back up and stay on top of that. And our shelf of shame is not very big.
No, not at all. Especially, comparatively to other people in the hobby, it's not very big at all.
Yeah, and like you said, there's not like 100 games coming into us in a month or something. Like it's like 5 to 8.
Yes.
So it's manageable.
It really is, because we play enough games that it is manageable. I think that our shelf I haven't looked at it in a while, so I don't know exactly how many games we have on our
Probably
unplayed.
5 or 6, maybe something in that
so
range.
it's not bad at all. But we do make it a point to not have a big shelf of shame. Like we want to buy games because we want to play those games.
That's right.
And so our whole goal is to play the games that we purchase.
That's right.
I don't like buying games that just sit there for long periods of time.
Right. Absolutely.
So we do have a couple that have been there for a while, but I am very confident that we're going to get those played.
Yeah. One thing we talked about is culling games something that everybody in the hobby should do.
Right.
And what we came away with is you do you. Honestly, like it's up to everybody.
Right.
I don't think that there's a should for that. I think it's a good thing, and I would argue that it's a good thing because if a game is just going to sit on your shelf and never be played, collecting dust, why not get it into the hands of somebody who might play it? Like that's the whole point, is that we want to build this community. Mm-hmm. And so sharing your games out that you're not going to play to somebody who might play them might get them more into the hobby or bring them into the hobby in the first place. So I think it's a good thing to do, but it's not a should do.
Right. Yeah, I definitely think games are there to be played.
Yeah.
So I'm all for letting games be played.
Yeah.
However that happens, whether it's by you or you're keeping it for a specific reason because at some point you want to play it, or maybe you only play it once a year and that's your criteria, as long as I play it every year, like whatever it is.
Yeah.
As long as games are getting played, I think that's the whole point.
Yeah, and I think if you think about it from a perspective of you're increasing the community, instead of I'm having to give away a game and I don't want to give away one of my things, but thinking of it as I'm increasing the community of the board gaming community.
Yes.
Then that kind of puts it in a different mind frame and makes it a little easier.
I agree. That's true. So let's talk about games on our to cull list.
Yep. Let's do it.
All right.
Let's just get the worst one out, like
out of the way.
The one that's going to bring us the most hate. Let's just get it out of the way.
So if you've watched us at all, we don't like this game, and so we are going to get rid of Root. It's going away. We don't like it. We just never enjoyed any of our plays of this game. We've tried it multiple times.
Yeah.
It's not very fun for us.
Yeah. Tried it. We've even tried to learn it a lot. Like to learn every aspect of the game.
Yes.
Not just like, here's how to make your turns.
Right.
But to learn like
nuance
of the game.
Yes.
And it just doesn't hit for us.
Right.
At all.
Yeah. So it is time for us to let Root go and go to somebody
who will love it.
Wants to love Root.
Yeah. And who does love it, because we wanted to love it.
Yes.
But it just didn't hit for us. And it's a super popular game.
Yeah.
So somebody out there will love it.
Somebody's going to love it.
Absolutely.
Next up on the list is Fort. Fort, we did not enjoy either.
Nope.
And this is one that I still can't figure out why people loved it.
Yeah.
But they did.
I agree.
It just wasn't very fun for me. It wasn't very interesting.
No.
I don't know. I felt like kind of bored.
It was bored. It was a boring game.
Yeah. So we're going to give it away and see if other people enjoy Fort.
Yeah.
And if they don't, maybe they can give it away to somebody else.
Yeah, the next one that we're going to give away is a game that we're almost positive somebody we know will love this game, and we're going to give it to that person and see if they love it. But it's Meadow.
Right.
And this is a game that we didn't not like. I mean, we liked the game.
This is the game actually that I was thinking of earlier when I said I liked the game.
Yeah.
I just didn't love the game, and I like so many other games that I choose over Meadow.
There are games in that category of game, and we would choose all of them over this one.
Right. And so it's not a bad game. It's actually a good game.
Right.
It's just not one that we will pick. And so that's why it needs to go.
Yeah.
And we think we know somebody who would actually really enjoy this game. So we want to make sure that they get to try it.
That's right. The next one that we'll talk about is a game also that we initially enjoyed.
Yes.
But it just quickly became a boring game to us because it stopped challenging us.
Correct.
And that's Atlantis Rising.
Yeah, this is a great family weight game.
Yep.
This will, I think this will be a really good one for a lot of people. It's just not one that's for us.
That's right.
So we're going to go ahead and call it.
Yep.
The next one on our list is Oceans. This is an incredibly popular game. In fact, the people that made Oceans have a new game coming out in their like evolution series called Nature, and we did want to try that one.
Yeah, we do.
Oceans is beautiful. I loved the art. I loved the components of the game, but the actual gameplay just felt a little flat for us.
Yeah.
It's not that we didn't like the game.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah. This is another one that we won't ever choose to play. And so it's time for it to find a new home. It's going away.
That's right.
The next one is Bandito. This is a little card game. It's a cooperative card game that is very quick to play.
Family weight
game that you are trying to keep Bandito from escaping out of jail.
Right.
And this is one that it was fine.
Yeah.
But we thought it would go better with a family.
Yeah.
And so
with maybe younger kids.
Yeah, because I think it starts at age 6.
Yeah.
Because it's pretty easy to play.
Yeah.
And so we thought we might give this away to a family that might enjoy playing this game.
For several years.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. And the next one on the list is Gnome Hollow. And this is a game that we really thought we would enjoy a lot.
Yeah, and I liked it better than you did.
Yes, and I thought it was okay.
Right.
I didn't dislike it, but it's just not one that, again, I will ever choose to play.
Right, we have a lot of tile placement games, and this is a tile placement game, but we like the other tile placement games better, so it kind of is a duplicate in that and not as good for us.
That's right. Yeah, and I think there is a person that is in our immediate groups, that will really enjoy this game and did actually.
Yeah.
Played it with us and did enjoy it. So we're just going to give it to that person and let them love the game.
That's right.
It's way better. The next one is kind of falls in that same group. It's the Lord of the Rings card game. This is one that we initially didn't like.
Correct.
And then it kind of grew on us.
Yes.
And to where we like it. We like the game. But again, there's another game that we like so much better, and that's Marvel Champions.
Right. And now Star Wars Unlimited.
Star Wars Unlimited, that's right.
So we like both of those better than the Lord of the Rings, the card game.
Yeah. And so this is, again, another one we don't dislike it now. We actually do like it. It's just not one that we're going to choose because we like these other ones so much better. Right. And so let's just give it to somebody.
Give it to somebody who wants to play. The next one's a really popular game, and it is The Search for Lost Species.
Yep.
This one people love this game. It's a deduction game. It's an app-driven game. There's some really good things about it, but we didn't love it.
Right.
We didn't enjoy it all that much. And so this is, again, one of those that we're just going to give to somebody who we think will enjoy the game. And this is one that I feel like if we ever want to go back to it, this is one that I could see us wanting to go back to at some point.
Right.
And that's one that I would gladly just borrow it from someone rather than own it myself. It's not one that I feel like we need to own, but I think that it will be enjoyed by other people more than us.
Absolutely.
All right, next up is Call to Adventure. This is one of our early games that we bought early on, and the first time we ever played it, we absolutely loved it.
Yep.
And we have played it, I think it was around Christmas time, we played it again and realized that maybe we've kind of outgrown the game a little bit.
Yeah.
It wasn't quite as interesting as it once was for us. And so it's kind of story driven. You're kind of building this story as you play this game. And so it's got a lot of good things. It has a little bit of nostalgia for us, but I just don't think we're ever going to play this game again.
Right. It's now for us a little boring.
Yes. And so it's time for it to go to someone who will love it.
Yep, absolutely. Next is Dice Forge. Now, this is one that was very disappointing for me.
Yes,
because I thought I was very excited about this one. It's a game where you have dice that are modular. So you change the faces of the dice, which sounds really fun. But it just was kind of boring.
Yeah, it fell flat. We kept trying to house rules it for ourselves to like make it work. It was like we wanted it to work for us so badly. Yeah. And it just, I don't know.
It just didn't work for us.
Wasn't one for us.
But I think that there's somebody in our groups that would like this.
I do too.
And so we're just like, let's just give it to them.
Yeah. I do think this is one that if they loved it, like I would play it with them in a heartbeat. This is one I would play in a heartbeat with anybody who wanted to play it. I just am not interested in pulling it out for us.
Right. Absolutely. And then the last one is a game that we bought sort of, it was a clearance, I think, maybe.
Yeah, I bought it for $3.
$3, yeah. And so it was just one of those games just for like, I mean, you can't be disappointed in a $3 game.
That's right.
Right? And so we spent $3 on it. And it was okay.
Yeah, it was
whatever. Fine. But it's, again, not one that we'll choose. And it's Cosmic Encounter Duel.
Cosmic Encounter is this game that is beloved by many.
Yeah.
And this is the dual version, and it's just not super great.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, it's okay.
So it's fine. Yeah. Anyway, again, we weren't really disappointed because it was $3.
Right.
So it's not like we spent a lot of money on it, but it's time for it to go.
Yeah, and for people who aren't maybe as deep into the hobby, I think it would be a really fun game.
Maybe so.
Yeah. Those are the games that we are going to cull from our collection this month.
Yes, it's time. It is time for them to leave.
Yep.
If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe.
And tell us down below in the comments if you have any games that you're culling from your collection. We definitely would love to hear about that.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
Bye.